Hi, this is Linda Tomlinson, and Carl Chaney and I have teamed up once again to bring you a special event here from the PAC Center at Pecan Plantation. Today we are visiting and just thoroughly enjoying seeing a lot of old, and some are antique, but some are just unique cars. These cars are all over Pecan Plantation, hidden in people's garages and extra buildings and things like that. Sometimes you see them out on the street, but this is an opportunity that we just couldn't pass up because we're going to see all kinds of antique and unique cars today. Come with us, it's going to be fun. Okay, this is Glenn Adams, and he's going to tell you what kind of a car he's brought today. What is this car?
This is a 48 Chevrolet Fleetline Aero sedan.
These guys, where they have them really, where they got smart.
It's a beauty.
Thank you.
Did you restore it?
No, it was partially restored. We bought it. We've done a lot of things to it since we got it.
How long have you had it?
About 3 years.
About 3 years.
We got another one just like it that we're working on.
Really? Well, it's quite beautiful. It caught my attention as soon as it came in here. I was old enough to remember this car.
Okay.
All right. Good to meet you, Glenn. As you can see from the sign, this is a 1996 Corvette. I don't know if it's a Stingray. I guess it is. It says it's the last of the C4s. It's a collector's edition. 1 out of 2,500 made. Bruce and Lene Lockwood. It's a beautiful car. Even by today's standards, a 96. Well, that's pretty recent. Yeah, fairly recent. I like that. Okay, this one is a 1983 Ford Mustang convertible. Come look at this. It's got red interior. Paul and Vicki Irvin own this car, and it is really a honey. Okay, this one's going to make your heart beat a little faster. It's a 1968 Oldsmobile Cutlass convertible. That is, it's black with a, I don't know what you call those things, a B stripe or something like that on it. It is really a beautiful car. Could be a lot of fun driving down the road.
I didn't haul it. There's no trailer.
Oh, it's got a wind spoiler on the back too. That's good looking. Is this your car? I was trying to figure if the owner of this car is somewhere around here.
Right there.
Right here, good, okay. Oh, yes, I do see now.
He is.
I'm actually the owner.
Here he is.
Yeah, he's your chauffeur. Well, come here, let's get both of you in here. Okay. Oh, we're filming, okay?
Oh, okay.
Okay, I have found the owners of this car, and I'm going to ask up front, what you tell us what kind of car this is, please.
It's a 1952 Willis Aero Eagle, two-door hardtop.
Willis.
You want to know about the powertrain?
Now, somebody thought it was a
Henry J.
Henry
probably.
J.
It's not a Henry J.
I knew it wasn't, because we used to have a Henry J. It didn't look anything like that. Okay, and then tell me your name. I'm sorry.
My name is Tom Rickey.
Tom
My
Rickey?
wife, Glenna.
Glenna, good to meet
She
both
can
of you.
speak. I just,
It's well, she said it was really her car,
Yeah.
but she just let you
she
show
lies
her.
a lot too.
Well, who picked out the color?
I did.
You did. You did a good job because that is nice and bright. Nobody's going to run into you accidentally. That is good looking. It's got to be a lot of fun to drive.
Yep.
It was an interstate battery distributor.
Aha.
35 years.
So this is
They paid for it. We painted green and
did a good job. I like that. We're I don't know. Oh, this is the owner of this car. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
Could I talk to you for just a minute?
Sure.
What is your name, please?
Mark Robinson.
Mark Robinson, and could you tell us what this car is?
That's a 1970 Dodge Charger RT.
It's beautiful.
Has a 446 pack in it. 4-speed Hurst pistol grip with a Dana 60 rear end.
It is really hot car. I saw you when you drove in. That is really special. Did you, how long have you had it?
I got this car in 92.
Okay.
And I started working on it in 98. Finished it in 2000. I finished it in 2000. Right before the first 4th of July parade out here.
Very good. Well, you did an excellent job, as far as I'm concerned. I'm not an expert, obviously,
This was
but
my first one.
it looks great. You working on another one?
No, we did another Mustang right after this one.
Okay.
It was education.
Right. Oh, I see. Well, it's good to meet you. I appreciate you participating today.
Oh, well, thank you.
All right, thank you. I think this next vehicle is not quite what I thought it was. I thought it was an El Camino, but it's a GMC Caballero, a 1982. I think it belongs to the Sassers, Joe and Connie Sasser. It says here on the label or on the card that Joe says he and his brother bought this car for their father after he retired in 1982, and they've still got it, and it looks to be in excellent condition. Another hot one. Okay. Okay, I think we're into some of the, rather than old hot rods and things, we're looking at some of the unique cars. This is a 1969 Jaguar Series 2 XKE convertible. That is owned by Ronnie Roan. 69,000 original miles. That's really a delightful car. Good way to travel. Okay. Okay. First of all, tell me your name.
Jim Martin.
Jim Martin. Tell me what your car is. What kind of car is this?
52 MG TD.
52.
We've owned it 44 years.
You've owned it how long?
44 years.
That is terrific. Is it difficult to drive?
Not really. You have to get used to it.
Okay.
You know, it drives differently than a regular car, but it's not that hard. It's a fun car to drive.
How often do you drive it?
We drive to church maybe once or twice a week, and that's it.
Really? Okay.
I don't drive it any other time.
Yeah, you kind of hate to put very many miles on them.
Well, I hear you, yeah.
52.
It's a fun car, yeah.
It's a good looking car.
Well, thank
You've done
you
an
very
excellent job with it.
Thank you.
Okay, this is also an MG. Years newer, a 1962 MGA Roadster. Owner is Mike White. Look at that. It is also a very, very good looking car. This is a 1961 Corvette convertible owned by Mike Brisano, and that is it looks flawless to me. It is really beautiful.
Well, we'll most likely, typically now, we for the first few years we watched it. When we lived in South Lake, it wasn't terrible.
Ooh, it's something. Don't trip. I don't think we're running advertisements on this on Channel 28, but this car's for sale. Oh, is this your car?
Yes, it is.
Come here now, let's talk about it in a minute.
Okay. There we go.
Okay, thank you. Tell me your name.
Mike Reed.
Mike Reed, and tell us what kind of car this is.
This is a 1994 Mustang Cobra.
Whew.
The first year of this body style, and very desirable because it has the 5.0 motor in it.
Yeah.
2 years later, they switched to a different engine that is not quite as fun to play with.
Oh, okay. You would know that. I don't know that. It's a gorgeous car, and you're trying to sell it.
I am. It's been sitting in my garage for 19 years.
Oh dear. Okay.
It never gets any attention. I dust it off once or twice a year to keep it running, but I thought this would be a good opportunity to get out and maybe see if
Could
anybody
be.
would do more with it than I have.
Good luck in that. I really do. Wish you good luck with that. Thank you. Appreciate your helping. And this is a golf cart, but it's one I've never seen before. A Garia. Do you think that's how it's pronounced? Huh? Okay. VW Bug
They had to come out of the factory.
from 1970. We saw lots and lots of those when we were in high school, didn't we? Well, 1970? No, not in 1970, but I think they all looked alike.
I was going to rebuild this unit.
Look at these Band-Aids on it. Needs a little tender loving care. All these cars that are for sale, I don't even know for sure what this is. Hi, Blue.
Howdy.
Now that's not, neither of those are yours, are they? Okay. This is a 1939 American Bantam Speedster. Built in the 1930s. Okay, since it's a 39. I've never seen a car like this before. But it looks, I think it's been restored. It looks perfect. Would be fun to ride in. And another one, a 1939 Bantam Roadster. I don't know if there's got to be a difference there, but they look very similar. Very unusual. Are you ready yet? Okay, here's a very special car. It's near and dear to my heart because it belongs to my husband, David Tomlinson. Mr. Tomlinson, could we talk to you for a minute?
Well, certainly, sir. What do you need?
Well, I want you to tell everybody in TV land.
TV land. All right. About this car?
They'll tell them, first of all, what kind of car it is.
This is a 1955 Chevrolet Bel Air two-door hardtop.
How long have you had it?
A good 25 years.
And have you restored it, or was it in this shape when you bought it?
No, it's totally frame-off restoration that we did ourselves.
Very good. Is there anything else that you would like to tell people about this particular beauty?
It's modified in every way. The only thing on this car since we got it 25 years ago is a Muncie 4-speed transmission. Everything else has been replaced, redone, etc., etc.
It's still beautiful, David.
Thank you. It's pretty hot.
It is, I know.
It makes a lot of noise, and it's got
it's fun.
A lot of power.
Thank you.
Well, you're welcome.
Okay. This is a good-looking car, and I have a feeling that this is a fleck paint job on it. Is that original?
No, it's as close as they could get to the original
paint. Tell us your name, please.
Charles Brownlee.
I like your Longhorn.
Well, thank you.
Charles Brownlee, and you are the spouse of Bobby Brownlee. Everybody knows.
Bobby Brownlee.
Absolutely.
Very few people know.
She's the queen of pecan. Tell us about this car. How long have you had it?
I've had it 37 years.
And was it an original car when you bought it? I don't even know how many. I can't do the math
It
real
was
quick.
9 years old when I bought it.
Okay.
And a kid was going to the University of Texas Law School. So I think he was the original owner, and he sold it.
And you're the second owner, and
I'm
you've
the second
still got
owner,
it.
as far as I know.
And you drive it very often?
Not much anymore. Now, the first 5, 6 years we drove it a lot. She's a school teacher. She drove it to school.
Right. Oh, really?
I drove it.
The little old school teacher from Pasadena?
I drove it out on the
Very good. Charles, thank you for talking to us today.
You're welcome.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Change of plans here. We're now going to switch over. We've got a tag team going today. We're going to switch over to Bobby Brownlee. She is going to take you through some of the other cars in just a minute. Thanks.
Okay, now we have Doodle, and Barbara Goodwin Lands owns this 63 VW Ragtop, and it is Gulf Blue, and she bought it brand new and for $1,783. Way to go, Barbara, that's a good deal.
What's on the windshield?
Okay, this car we were just stopping at is a 1995 Chevrolet Impala SS. And this particular model was made for only 3 years in 94, 95, and 96. And it was available in only 3 colors, red, black, and green. And Jim and Kathy Curfew have been the only owners of this car. They purchased it new in Midland in 1995. And I see there's a for sale sign in the window, so line up. The opportunity is here. Jensen Healy, 1973, also one owner. In Lotus engine and top speed, we just ain't telling. But this is really a beauty. Is this yours? All right. And today we have with us
Jeff Walker.
And Jeff Walker, you have a gorgeous car here. When did you get it, and where did you get it?
October 1973, Overseas Motors, Fort Worth, Texas.
In Fort Worth, and you're not talking about top speed, huh?
No, but it's quick.
But it's quick, all right. How did you make the decision to come be here today and show off your car?
I saw it advertised in the columns.
Good, thank you.
And thought, mine's not going to be the prettiest, but it's sure unique.
It is unique. This
particular car was only built for 2 years.
Oh,
they don't make them anymore.
No more. Do you do other car shows?
No, I don't.
This is it. Well, I'm glad you selected us today. Thanks for coming out.
It's a great day.
Now, this 1963 Galaxy 500 looks like my mother's car from a number of years ago, and she drove it for many years and absolutely loved it. And the owners of this are very, very fortunate to have this, and that is Clarence Kennedy, who owns this car. And I have not seen a shinier paint job in a long time. This is a beautiful car. Are you the owner of this car?
Yes.
All right, well, good. And your name is?
Clarence Kennedy.
Clarence Kennedy. We just saw that you are the owner. Are you the original owner of this car?
No, ma'am, I'm not.
How long have you had it?
I've had it about 15 years.
50. How did you decide to buy this particular model?
Well, it was straight, and the price was right.
And the price was right.
I just picked it up.
Where did you find it?
In Dalhart, Texas.
In Dalhart.
Yes, ma'am.
How much restoration have you had to do to it, or have you had to do any?
I've completely redone the whole thing.
It's completely restored.
Yes,
Well, you have done a wonderful job, and what motivates you to keep on keeping it?
I appreciate it.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
It is beautiful, and thank you, Mr. Kennedy, for
Okay,
coming out today.
Thank
Good.
you.
Okay, something brand new in our world, a full electric car, the 2012 Nissan Leaf. A beautiful, beautiful color, and Debbie Dewey is certainly a lucky owner of this one.
So if you look at the car, you'll see the whole how the Patty's glad you're around.
Yeah.
Here in West Carolina.
I know, I've been helping.
Okay, because I don't see the owner or anything. Hi. Are you? Is this a little wishful thinking on your part up here?
I've never seen this before.
Well, what do you think?
That's awesome.
It's awesome.
I need to get somebody to buy one for me.
Right, and your name is?
I'm Ronnie Roberts.
Ronnie, delighted to have you with us today, and thanks so much for coming. And tell us about your car, Turner. Tell us where you got it and why you were motivated to get this particular car.
Okay. We have to start when I was working for the federal government. I was actually escorting 46 shipping containers into Moscow. Had a stayover in Helsinki, Finland. And one night I picked up a magazine, saw a picture of a similar car, and said, that's pretty neat. Put the magazine down. Next night I picked up the same magazine and said, that's really a neat car. The third night I picked it up, the magazine, and I said, okay, how do I get there from here? So when I got home, I did a lot more research and came up with the whole scenario that you didn't buy a complete car. It was piece by piece.
Oh.
I started off with a bare chassis out of an outfit in California, and cleaned it up, even though it was brand new. Cleaned it up and had the chassis powder coated and ground down all the wells and everything. So it was all done when I got it back from the powder coating shop. And then I got a body and had an engine and transmission. And just put the whole thing together.
Just piece by piece.
Yeah,
every Christmas and birthday, another piece arrived.
It was a learning process, and it was a lot of fun. It was a 3.5-year project.
Well, you've told me earlier about trips you've taken in this car. Tell everyone else about it.
I'm not afraid to take it on the road. It's been to Tampa, Florida twice. I took it out to the Street Rod Nationals in Louisville, Kentucky last year. So it's been up and down.
It's been around,
huh?
Yeah. Well, do you attend other car shows in the area?
You know, I have a couple, but that's really not what I just enjoy driving.
Just enjoy driving it, huh?
Myself. So.
Well, it is a cool car, and thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you.
Hi. Are you the owner of this car, this wonderful car?
No, you talk to this
Well, let's
gentleman
just
here.
come right over here. I'd talk with both of you. And your name is?
Jason Nix.
Jason, we are delighted that you're here today. Tell us some things about your car.
It's a 99 M Roadster. It's had some suspension work on it. It's got a short shift aftermarket racing transmission shifter on it.
Okay.
It's got dual catback exhaust system, which is aftermarket. Anti-sway rear end reinforcement to keep the tail down on the road around turns. I believe right now it's at about 450 horsepower.
Okay.
Which is pretty good for a car this size.
For a car this size, it certainly is.
But what I'd have to say is best about this vehicle is the capability of handling on the road is amazing. It'll turn on a dime.
And you drive it regularly?
Not anymore. Tickets get expensive.
Oh.
The downside of this car is it gets a lot of tickets.
Oh, I
Police love to
see.
look at
Yeah,
it.
they figure if you've got it, you can afford
the tickets.
That's right.
And the exhaust system is very loud on it, and that gets their attention.
That
too.
also gets their
So,
attention. Where did you get the car?
It was bought from California and drove up approximately 5 years ago.
I see.
Owned
And
it Well, it's been in my family for about 5 years, and it was predominantly used for touring, going back and forth from California and road trips. So the miles that are on it are highway miles. I think it's got about 119 on it, but it's a monster. It's so fast,
yeah,
and it can get you in trouble. I know that I'm trying to sell it, and that's probably not a great selling point, but
remind me not to bid on it. Okay?
Yeah, it can get expensive if you get a lead foot.
Watch out.
Yeah,
well,
I've gotten about 5 tickets in it.
So. Oh, okay. Well, that's not too bad.
Not
that's
too bad.
Not
Could be
too
worse.
Bad. Could be
5
worse.
in 5 years. That's a ticket a year.
That's okay.
Thank you.
And thank you for being with us today, Jason.
Have a
it's
good
my
day.
pleasure to visit with you.
Alrighty, thank you.
And here we have a 1956 Ford F100, all metal, all Ford. The owner of this car is Don Gum here in Pecan, and as you can tell, this red paint job is really, really eye-catching. And we are absolutely delighted that Don has chosen to be in our car show today with this terrific 1956 Ford pickup. And of course, as we all know, 1956 was one of those good years for a lot of things, and apparently for Ford pickups as well. This is Don Gum, the owner of this gorgeous red pickup. Don, are you the original owner?
No, but I've owned it 40 plus years now.
40 plus years. Well, that is...
I'm the builder.
Okay, Don is the builder.
It was not like this when I bought it.
And so what kind of restoration has been involved?
Well, totally frame up. It's air suspension on the chassis. It's power disc brakes, front and rear, power steering, power brakes, 5-liter Ford Cobra, Lincoln AOD tranny, Positraction, electric doors, electric windows.
Oh, okay. Those were not around in 56, were they?
1956, they were 3 on the floor, on the gear shift.
Right.
It's all digital dash, all digital radios.
And I see that center console, too. That must be a late addition.
The front seat is actually out of a mid-90s Cadillac I bought out of a junkyard. And the one thing I didn't build on the truck myself was the interior. I just am not that good with leather, and I paid a professional to do the interior because the rest of the truck was so perfect. There was no way I could not have a perfect interior in it.
Well, Don, do you have a place in your garage or somewhere that you have done this work, or how did all this happen?
When I built the truck, I lived in Southern California, and I had a motorhome garage on the side of my house, and I have a hoist and all my own machinery. I do most of my own machining, all my own polishing, painting, everything.
Wow.
And now I have it in my hangar over here in the airport.
In the airport,
and I have it on a hoist because I've got 3 kids, and I keep it about 6 feet off the ground all the time because I just don't want them touching it.
Well, we are delighted that you have chosen to share this baby with us today. Thank you so much for coming.
Welcome. Thank you.
And the 1964 Corvette, red. I know that Suzette and John McComas have turned a lot of heads with this beauty, and we are thrilled that they have chosen to share with us today as well. Thanks, John and Suzette. And are you the owner of this Mustang?
No, it's the guy in the flowered shirt.
Well, let's get him over too. What brought you out today?
He's a friend of mine, and just enjoying old cars.
Good. And your name is?
Gary.
Gary, thank you so much for coming out today. And I'll see if I can get over here and listen in to the owner.
Yeah, they're talking shop over there.
Okay. Yeah, talking shop when a Mustang is involved is pretty exciting. Well, you can be in too. You're the owner.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell us about your car.
This is my first car.
Oh, it is. So you are the original owner on this one then?
Well, my dad bought it when I was in high school, and it had 100 and something thousand miles on it. And I drove it in high school and then on into college. And then as it got older and wore out, well, then I parked it and he kept it. And then several years ago, I rebuilt it. I did all the work myself. It took me 3 years to rebuild it.
3-year project.
The blue one over there is mine also. And I did the same thing to it, but I had twin sons. And so this goes to them. Whenever I told them, I said, when you graduate from college, and they've already done that. I said,
and you still have the cars.
This is, my gift to you. But the deal is, you just hand them down to your kids. Don't sell them.
They are not for sale. And your name is?
Gene Wassmiller.
Gene, I am delighted that you have chosen to share this and to share your story with us today. I love your cars.
Well, thank you.
Thanks so much. Hi.
Hello.
Either of you the owner with Gene of this car?
I'm the wife.
All right. Well, tell me about yourself, and your name is?
Yes, I'm Kitty Wassmiller. My husband Gene did the renovation of these cars. The red one was his very first car. The blue one that his dad got in a little auction, and he did the frame-off renovation of those. And it has great artistry and can do all kinds of beautiful metalwork.
He really does. Do you have a specific shop that he works in, or?
Oh, he has his own little area. Yeah.
Very good. So. Well, he tells me that you all have twin sons, and that these are the legacy.
These were them. That's
all right.
And
very
this
good.
one has our grandson's name painted above the driver door.
Okay.
So the intent is to pass it on down in the generation.
Good. Well, thank you so much, Debbie, for being here and for sharing these stories with us. And would you like to add something in?
No, except for that this is a loud. These are specialty.
Right. I
specialty
see.
Exhaust.
I see that exhaust down there. Right.
Nice.
Okay.
Very nice.
And what street do y'all live on? Okay.
And
stay clear.
Okay. Thanks for sharing with us today. And here's Glenn Cobble's 1953 Ford pickup, an F100. It is been in Glenn's family for a very long time, I understand. And so he is now the proud owner and has done some of the restoration work for this Ford F1 pickup 1953. I told Glenn that I thought 1953 was a good year because that's the year I graduated from high school. And cars and pickups have always been very much of an attraction to our generation. And I wish y'all would check out these cool rear view mirrors. At least there's one on both sides in the 1953 model. Glenn, I told our viewers that this pickup has been in your family for some time. You want to tell us a little bit more about that?
Well, my grandfather purchased it new in 1953. My dad bought it from him in 1959, and we used it on the ranch for a number of years. Then in the early 1980s, he decided it needed restoration done on it, so he tore it apart. And then it just laid around in park for about 10 years.
Okay.
Then after he retired and moved to San Angelo, he found a man there that was doing the restoration, so he hauled the parts down there and they put it back together.
And now it belongs to Glenn and Mary Cobble.
Yeah.
And we are thrilled that you came to be with us today, Glenn.
I'm enjoying it.
Good. Thanks a lot. Your golf game is not going too well on the day you're driving this. Well, you can just drive on the road and have a nice airy drive. Otherwise, hope your golf game turns out good. Oh, and who doesn't remember the '67 Chevy Camaros? And Christina and Jeff Rogers really have a jewel here. I wish you'd look at that gorgeous red and black paint job. A Chevy Camaro Super Sport. Is this your car? Now, I saw you drive this one in.
Yeah, that's his.
Oh, that's his. This one's yours. Okay, so I understand that Jeff and Debbie have his and her cars, and this one is yours.
Yes,
Tell
ma'am.
us about it. Where'd you get it?
We bought this one in Potosi, Texas. We were searching on eBay and found it an hour from the house. And I initially wanted a '68, but we saw this, fell in love with it, and had to have it, and here we are.
And here you are.
Mhm.
Do you drive it regularly?
Not near enough, but I try to, yeah.
Good. What's your favorite thing about it?
It's got a big old hot rod engine in it. It'll go really fast.
Vroom, vroom.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, thank you so much for sharing this time with us, and I love your car.
Well, thank you.
And let's see if we can get your husband over here now.
Jeff, they want to talk to you too.
And Jeff's car, as you can see, is this great yellow 1970 Dodge Charger. And here comes Jeff Rogers to tell us some things about his car. Jeff?
Hi.
Hi, I'm Bobby Brownlee. Thanks for joining us today, and tell us some things about your car.
I appreciate y'all putting this on for one thing.
Okay.
But I actually bought this at an auction in Dallas last September, just like it is. I didn't do it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right. Somebody has been watching out for beautiful cars then, haven't they?
Yeah.
That's right.
But it runs good. The only thing it won't pass is a gas station.
Oh. Yeah, we kind of remember the 70s, don't we?
Days, yeah.
Well, how did you get interested in cars of this vintage?
I've actually been doing this since I was a kid.
Oh, do you do some restoration yourself?
My dad serviced it in '68 in Breckenridge, Texas.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Wow.
But, I'm a Mopar fan, and as you can see, she's a Chevrolet.
All right.
And I try not to hold that against her.
Right. You know, there's some things in families you just can't work out.
Oh, no. But no, there's a lot of pretty cars out here. I'm really glad to see y'all do this.
Well, thank you very much, and we're especially glad that you came.
Well,
thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Bye.
Thank you.
Okay, and now we have a 1988 Chevy pickup. And Bryce Hartgraves is the proud owner of this. And as you can see, it is very, very well conditioned. And we certainly appreciate Bryce coming out and appreciate the work that he has done on this pickup. Okay, and Carl, if you'll come right along behind me here. Well, something new has been added. A Cushman motor scooter. 1957 Cushman at that. Husky, 8 horsepower, 4-stroke, top speed about 55 miles per hour. And in 1957, this little scooter sold for $390. And its value today is anywhere from $5,000 to $7,000. Wow, that is a great addition to our show today. And are you the owner of this? I guess not. And oh, who remembers the Corvairs? And Bryce Hartgraves is the owner of this one as well, and I see a for sale sign on it. So get in touch with Bryce if you've always hankered to own a vintage car. A 1965 Corvair convertible. And you will remember that the engine is where the trunk used to be, and that the trunk is up here in front where the engine used to be. Great restoration. Thanks, Hargraves, for bringing this out. And now we have a 1936 Ford Deluxe Roadster with the rumble seat. And you know, we remember our parents talking about the rumble seats. And here is a really, truly one right here for you to see. And look at those white wall tires. White wall tires. And this beautifully, beautifully restored 1936 Ford Roadster. Ron and Doris Bernier are the owners of this, and it was produced, as I say, in 1936. It has a 3-speed manual transmission, and its weight is 2,561 pounds, and it was restored in 1995, and its original sticker price looks like was $560. And we again appreciate very much Ron and Doris bringing their great car to share with us. Okay. I'd like you all to meet Ned and Ruth Baker, who've come out to spend some time with our auto show today. And Ned, aside from Judy inviting you, do you have another interest in vintage cars?
Oh, I've been interested in them for years. I'm not a hobby I pursued at all, but it's great to see them. Really.
But it's always nice to visit our youth, isn't it?
And that goes back a ways.
And that goes back a ways. What kind of car did you have back in the 50s and 60s?
Mercy, we had a 48 Ford, and I've had Model A's. I have a bunch of cars.
Well, thanks for coming out today. And a 39 Chevy. Thanks so much for coming in. It's great to see you all.
Good to see you. Thank you very much.
And here we have something that is so cool. A 1969 Buick Skylark. And as you can tell, it has been beautifully restored, and check out the red leather upholstery. This is a really a special car. We have the owners of this car is Jack Wilson, and Jack has certainly done a wonderful job of caring for this car. Yes.
Wow. So 57 Chevy, that was kind of like cool.
And a 1957 Chevy, and who didn't love the red and white Chevys? And check out the dice hanging from the mirrors as well. That was just a necessity, and in the 1950s, to have the dice hanging from the mirrors. And the restoration of the seats has been just perfect. Are either of you gentlemen the owner of this gorgeous car? No. Okay. What's your name?
Bob Brownlee.
You're Bob Brownlee. Well, I'm Bobby Brownlee.
Oh, are you?
Yes.
Well, Bobby, I've never met you
All
before.
these years we have received each other's mail and stuff.
Yeah,
now we meet.
Right. Exchange mail.
Right. Well, Bob, tell me about coming out today. What brought you out here?
I just knew this was going on, so I wanted to come up and look at them and wish,
And wish. What was your first car like?
Oh, my first car was a 1936 Ford Coupe.
Oh, okay. When did you graduate up into the 50s and 60s cool cars?
Oh, that was about 5 years later.
Oh, well, good. Well, thanks for coming out today.
Sure,
we appreciate it very much.
Good to meet you, Bobby.
And it's good to meet you, too. I heard you say cool car over here.
This is
Bobby.
Yeah, Bobby Brownlee, but I'm trying to think.
Hi,
of
Bobby.
Charles.
How are you?
Charles.
Yes.
And
last time I saw you, it was in the hospital when Charles was there.
Oh, I see. Well, I'm glad we're all here today. What brought you all out today?
Well, we love cars.
We love cars. To reminisce.
To reminisce.
Did you have one like this?
No, this came out when I was in college. I graduated from high school in 1954. But 3 years later, when I was in college, this was the automobile.
Oh,
it was fantastic.
It was fantastic. And your name is?
Alvin Howell.
Alvin, thank you so much for sharing this with our viewers today.
Absolutely.
Tell Charles hi.
Well, he's right over there with his car.
Oh,
yeah, the Mustang. 2001 Jeep Wrangler TJ. And Rich Chiappi is the owner of this cool vehicle. It's a body lift, 32-inch tires, and rock bumpers and rails. So this is what you really want to be seen in these days. Rich, bet your kids like this too, don't they? Hi, you're Rich, aren't you? I am. Well, let's tell your viewers about your car.
Well, Jeeps are very dangerous.
Yes.
You know why?
Well, I don't see a door.
It's not it.
Okay.
See, because there is a roll bar, so if you ever actually rolled over, you'd actually be pretty safe. They're dangerous because there's an unlimited number of accessories you can pay top dollar for. they can actually suck every dollar out of your savings account. Very dangerous
So
vehicles.
that's very dangerous vehicle.
I don't recommend them to anybody who doesn't have an endless supply of money, as I've learned the hard way.
Well, Rich Chiappi, we are glad that we know you and know where there is a source of money if it's not all in this
It's
car.
gone. So I'm looking for donations, handouts, anything.
Whatever.
Yeah, absolutely, because I own a Jeep.
Okay.
No, actually, no, I own two, which
You own
is
two.
double the problem.
Well, yes. How did you make that decision?
Well, because one son has a Jeep, and so
Okay.
when you have to give the other son a Jeep, you know, equal time.
I
No, it's been
understand.
absolutely
That's
fun. We just thought it was bright and shiny and fun to look at, and a lot of people have really liked seeing it here today.
Oh,
so
well, good.
It's been a joy.
Well, thanks so much for coming out.
Thanks for coming
Pleasure
out
to
with
have
us.
you here.
Okay.
Hey, I was about to ask you, but I see that you're not Ken Payne. So. What do you think of this? This is George Herr, our viewers, and tell us what you think about this 1939 Bantam Roadster.
I think it's pretty neat. It was made in Pennsylvania, so.
So it's bound to be good. Then.
Yes, right.
It's bound to be good. That's right.
Yeah.
Well, it's great to see you out here today, George and Ruth, and enjoy the day. And I think the hamburgers are being cooked as we speak. So enjoy.
We had a late breakfast.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. Hi, everybody. We hope you've enjoyed our car show as much as we've enjoyed putting it together for you. Linda Tomlinson started this segment, and I'm Bobby Brownlee, and I'm closing it. If for some reason you were not able to come out and enjoy the cars and meet all the interesting people who have an ownership in those cars, we hope that you'll be here next year. So watch the columns, watch Channel 28 for additional information about next year's car show. And I think, as I'm standing right here talking to you, that the hamburgers are ready to be served. So I hope you'll be able to join us next year. Thanks, bye.